How's it going, guys? MJ300 here, bringing you another episode of our FIFA 20 Road to Glory series. So if you're just checking this out for the first time, make sure you go back and watch the first couple of videos. What we're trying to achieve here is taking a team that is maybe not necessarily at the top of the game and over 5 seasons trying to turn them into the champions of Europe. I've gone with Arsenal for this first series and our season has started very well. We have won 3 games out of 3 in the Europa League group, so pretty much through to the next round there. You can see in the Premier League we're currently sitting at second, still undefeated, the only undefeated team in the league at the moment, with 9 wins and a draw from our opening 10 games. Aubameyang absolutely on fire, even at 30 years old, top of the score sheet there with 11 goals. And in the last video, unfortunately, at the very end, we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup to Spurs. But in this video, we're going to be going through the rest of 2019, November and December, and probably even a little bit into January, so we can have a look here, see what we've got. We've got a few games to simulate there in the Premier League, finish off our Europa League campaign. We'll have some gameplay footage against City and Chelsea, and we'll also have another gameplay footage against United as we probably go halfway into January in this video. So if you are a fan of FIFA, I do other sports Let's Plays as well. Please consider subscribing to the channel so you can keep up to date. So next up, we've got Wolves. We'll just have a quick look and see where they are in the table. So they are currently sitting 8th with 6 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. So going pretty well, actually, for Wolves, similar to in real life. So not going to necessarily be the easiest game. So we're going to go with our strongest possible team. Just to remind you there how it's looking. We've got Tierney at left back, Ake and David Luiz and Bellerin with Leno in goal behind them. We've got Torreira, Neves, Pepe, Saka and Ozil in midfield and Aubameyang leading the line up top. So let's simulate into this here at home, always expecting to get a result. Not necessarily the easiest game, like I said, Wolves are doing pretty well at the moment. But we do get the job done. Aubameyang with another brace and Pepe with the third. That's 3-0 to Arsenal. I can't believe, actually, just how good Aubameyang is doing. I mean, I know he's still 88 overall, going very, very strong. But what's that now? 13 goals in 10 games in the Premier League? That's absolutely unbelievable. Next up, we've got game day number 4 of the Europa League group up against Guimarães. They are second in division at the moment with 4 points, but obviously we are 9 points, so almost certainly guaranteed through to the next round now. Probably one more point would do it. We're going to go with our cup team that we've been going here, rotating everyone around, giving everyone a game, see if we can get ourselves another result at home. And we do. We win 2-0. Youngsters Martinelli and Nelson both on the score sheet. Another clean sheet. And 12 points in there now. We are definitely going through as group winners. And now we have a game here away to Leicester. Definitely not going to be the easiest game from the last time. I think they were just sitting behind Wolves in the table. Yes, they are. So they've won 6 games, drawn 1 and lost 4. So obviously they have a very good side, Leicester. Away, not going to be the easiest of games. But I'm always hopeful that we're going to get something. They have won their last 3. They're on a really strong run, and they do get themselves a 1-1 draw with Arsenal. Looking at that there, really, really close. Pepe with the penalty after 11 minutes. Pepe with the opening penalty, but Barnes with the 89th minute equaliser. So really disappointing that we were unable to hold on, but away to Leicester, definitely a point is still a good result. Next up, we have another Premier League game, this time home against Southampton. Let's have a look and see where they are in the league. They're down near the bottom here, 17th. Just a 1 win for them, so they're obviously really struggling at the moment. I'll make a couple of changes to the team just to give a couple of other squad players a game. I'll show you that in just 1 second. Okay, so we're going with this team here, which is almost our first 11, but this time Cedric comes in at right back for Bellerin, Willock comes in for Ozil, and Nketiah comes in for Saka. So we'll simulate this here, hopefully get ourselves another 3 points at the Emirates. And we do. We get ourselves a 2-1 win. Aubameyang and Torreira on the score sheet. A little bit worrying there that Neves has picked up an injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but we'll have to check that out here. Player injured. Oh, and he's broken his leg and he's out for 4 months. Oh, that's really disappointing. Neves has been a very, very important player for us, and he's been playing so well all the way up to 83. So that's obviously a really big blow for us. We have Ceballos who can come into the first team ahead of him, but 4 months is a long time. Where we're sitting now, we're November, so that means he's not going to be back until March. Only going to get him for the last couple of months of the season, but at the same time it gives a chance for some of the guys to step up, maybe including Joe Willock, who can get a few more games now. We have the January transfer window coming up that we could bring another player in, but I don't think we'll be doing that necessarily just yet. So we are now back into the Europa League, game day number 5 up against Frankfurt. We're already the runaway leaders, so again, as we've been doing in every game, rotating it round in the squad, giving everyone else some minutes. See, can we make it 5 wins from 5? Yes, we can. Nelson and Martinelli both on the score sheet, and another win in the Europa League for Arsenal. Back to the Premier League now, and an away game against Norwich. We'll just have a quick look, see where they're sitting in the league. They are 11th in mid-table, 1-5, lost 7, drawn 1. So jumping into this here, expect us to get another 3 points, really, against Norwich. Definitely a team where Arsenal should be looking to beat, and they do. Saka scores early on, 13th minute, and we hold on 1-0 to the Arsenal. Okay, so I just thought quickly I'd show you as well what's actually in our youth squad at the moment. So there's one player who is very much one for the future here. We've got this guy Blondo, goalkeeper, only 15 years old, already 61 overall, and his potential is either an 88 to 94. So don't really think he's necessarily going to be up to that level by the time we get to the end of year 5, but he will be 20 years old. Hopefully he could still be into the low 80s by that point and be our backup of the future, and ultimately would succeed Leno. Other guys here, we've got a couple. This one 76 to 94. And this one down here still quite wide-ranging in their potential. Another goalkeeper, 74 to 92. We've got some central midfielders, some centre-backs. We haven't got any attacking players at the moment, but that's okay because most of the youngsters we have in our system are more attacking-minded. So it would be good to get some potential further back on the field. Okay, so we've just had this comment here from Lacazette asking that he needs to be playing more, otherwise he'll have to consider his future. His morale is still happy, which is good, and I will reassure him he does have his place in the squad. Appreciate that he's not starting in the first team, but he is still very important to us. We'll maybe give him a run out here against Brighton in just a second. Okay, so we have run the change a little bit for this Brighton game. We've gone with Leno in goal, Kolasinac holding Chambers and Cedric at the back. Torreira, Guendouzi, Nelson, Willock and Pepe in midfield, with Lacazette getting that game, but he's requested up top. It's another home game. It's against Brighton. They've lost their last 3, although you've got to feel for them. Look at that. They've had a run of United, Leicester, Liverpool, and now Arsenal. And we get ourselves a win. Lacazette proving that he's invaluable to this squad still, with a brace, and Guendouzi also on the score sheet. 3-0 to Arsenal. This amazing run continues. Next up, we have London derby here, away to West Ham at the City of London Stadium. I really like that stadium. It's a really good one. So we've gone back to our first team. They're on a bit of a losing streak, have lost their last 3. And they lose this one as well. Pepe with the sole goal after only 5 minutes. 1-0 to the Arsenal. So it's our final Europa League game here. We're already guaranteed top spot. You can see 5 wins from 5. We're against Stade Liège, bottom of the pile. Probably going to get ourselves another win here. We'll just simulate this through very quickly. And we do. We win 3-1. Lamar, Martinelli, Guendouzi all on the score sheet. Kolasinac picking up an injury. Every injury we've had so far seems to have been a severe one with 3 or 4 months. Hopefully this one's not so bad. Broken his toe, 6 weeks. Not ideal, but at least it's not another 4-month one. And you just see there as well, we've had confirmation that Balogun will be going out on loan in January. Okay, so next up, we have a huge game here against Manchester City. You'll see that they're currently sitting at 4th, but they do have a game in hand over both Spurs and Liverpool. And if they did beat us today, they would actually go level on points. And you look at that goal difference, it's both plus 34. So they would actually go ahead of us. They would go top of the table with a win. Whereas if we can get a win, then we would extend our lead at the top of the table to 4 points, which would be huge. So really, really big game here. Home to City. Really hope we can get ourselves some result. Gone back to our strongest team. Let's jump straight in. Okay, so just very quickly, thought we'd see what City are working with. They've got Ederson still in goals, and Zinchenko, Laporte, Thiago Silva they've brought in, and Kyle Walker at right back. Rodri, Gundogan, and De Bruyne in the middle of the park, and Bernardo Silva, Aguero and Raheem Sterling as the front 3. So just the Thiago Silva addition there, which is a very good one. Still a very, very strong team. Not going to be an easy game, but let's see how we can get on. Torreira into Aubameyang. It's a good first touch. Can he find Saka at the far post? Oh, he's just overhit it. It was actually Tierney coming in at the far post. Here now come Arsenal on the counter-attack with Nicolas Pepe. Can he find Aubameyang in the middle? He can. Oh, and that's a good save by Ederson. Walker with a good ball in towards Aguero. Just not quite enough contact on it. And it's gone wide at the far post. Here comes City again with De Bruyne. To Bernardo, nice 1-2. Aguero. Oh, fantastic save by Leno. Here comes City now with Gundogan. Ake, great block. Corner defend here now. Cross comes in, and it's down, and it's in. Rodri with the header. Got up above Luiz, I think it was. Very poor defending. It's Ake actually he beats. And no one on that back post. Always have a man on the post. It's defending corners 101. If there's a guy there, Bellerin's just standing on the 6-yard, then he just clears it away. But instead, it beats Leno and it's 1-0 to City. Ozil. Can he find Ceballos? He can! And Arsenal respond in the best way possible. Danny Ceballos with that run from midfield. And just before half time, look at that run. Just gets off the back of De Bruyne, who doesn't track him. And inside that position, you'd always back Ceballos to score. Drills it low, beyond the outstretched leg of Ederson. His first in the Premier League. And it's 1-0. And then we get as the half-time whistle. City definitely offering a stiff challenge for us here. Probably the most of they've had the majority of the possession. A lot of the game has been played in our half. But we go in at the break with the scores level. Actually, we've shaved the possession, but they've definitely had more of the chances as I expected. 5-4 to our 2, but 1-1 at the break. We take that. Let's see if we can push on in the second half. Here comes City again with Bernardo Silva. Tierney trying to get back to him. He can't, and the header's in. And De Bruyne arriving late. Another header. It's 2-1 to City. Who was tracking that run? Okay, just gets away from Tierney. And who is it? It's Torreira who should have been tracking him. He let him go. Once again, we find ourselves behind. Okay, so in response to that goal, we're going to make a couple of changes. Going to bring on Lamar and Lacazette for Ozil and Saka. Just can't get the ball off them. It's De Bruyne, Sterling, Zinchenko, Aguero, Rodri, De Bruyne. Look at this. It's just one-touch passing all the way. Finally, we get the ball with Lamar, Aubameyang, Lamar. It's a good 1-2. Get in the box, Lacazette. Peel off the back post. It's too close to the keeper. Oh, here we go. This is our last chance. Lacazette through to Aubameyang. Can he finish? Oh, no. That was it. The 90th minute. Aubameyang. It's got to be scoring. It's got to be scoring. And there it is, the full-time whistle. It was the last chance. And we have lost our first league game of the season. City were just so good. Like, everything was one-touch passing. I just couldn't get near them. You saw how few chances we created in that game for lack of highlights. And it's really, really disappointing. I feel like I didn't play as well as I could have played. But fair play to City. They took their chances well. So after that game as well, we've got Ozil saying, unless I get selected more often, I'll have to consider my future here. You literally just played in that game. You played the first 60 minutes. Sometimes I don't get this player morale, but you can see even with that first loss of the season, we're still sitting very nicely in second place, only behind City on goal difference. But we look to rebound now with a game here against Everton. We simulate this one as we have been doing with all the other games. Can we get back to winning ways? And we can. Pepe with a brace. Lacazette with a goal as well. Calvert-Lewin scored for them but also missed a penalty. That loss is quickly forgotten and we're back onto it with another 3 points. Another round of training and Saka is now up to a 76 overall. Okay, so we're going to go with this team up against Bournemouth with Leno in goal, Tierney, Ake, Holding comes in for Luiz, Maitland-Niles comes in for Bellerin, Doozy comes in for Ceballos, and Lamar in for Ozil, and Lacazette in for Saka. So resting a couple of players with mind that we've got Chelsea in just a couple of days, which is a much bigger game. But hopefully these guys will still be more than enough to get a result over Bournemouth. And we do. Pepe and Aubameyang are ever reliable score duo, getting the 2 goals. And now we move to this huge game. We've got 2 huge games which will finish off this video. We've just seen there Mauri's coming back to training, which is excellent. We've got 2 games now. Chelsea here on the 29th. And United on the 1st. 2 big games here to end the video. Hopefully we can get 6 points, but you know, I'd take 4 points from these 2 games. Chelsea and United, both tough games. So let's jump straight into this first one here against Chelsea. Hopefully we can perform better than we did when we played City. So here's the Chelsea team we're going up against. Looks like they've only made the 1 addition, which is Maatsen at right back. Other than that, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, Emerson in defence, Kepa, Selink in goal, Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic in the middle of the park, and Batshuayi, Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi up top. Now, it looks like they're missing a couple of players as well, but no big additions. I'm confident we can get ourselves a win against that team. Here comes Pulisic now down our left-hand side. Gets an early cross in. It's evaded everyone. It's gone as far as Kovacic. And Leno with a save. Found Saka out wide. Who's found Ozil. Towards the back post, towards Pepe. Oh, keeper just gets a touch on it. Look at these numbers here for Chelsea defending. Everyone back. Can't find a way through at the moment. Ozil. Patience. Saka. Aubameyang. Oh, he's turned him. Can he finish? Oh, that's got to be doing better from there. Straight at Kepa. Here's Aubameyang. Out wide now to Pepe. Pepe finding some space. He's found Aubameyang. Oh, and he's crowded out again. Chelsea just defending in so many numbers. And there's the half-time whistle. We go in at the break 0-0. Haven't really had any or many clear-cut chances. Just that one effort from Aubameyang. But Chelsea are just defending so deep. So deep. I can't believe how negative their tactics have been. But let's see if we can break this down in the second half. Saka has won the ball in a good position here. What can he do? Cuts it back. Oh, Pepe on the edge. Should have cut it back further. Look at these numbers again from Chelsea. Literally almost everyone behind the ball. Saka's found Ozil. He's found Ceballos. He's found Aubameyang. He's turned him. Can he finish? Oh, just took too long after getting past. Going to make a few changes here. Off goes Ozil, Torreira and Saka. On comes Lamar, Guendouzi and Martinelli. See if we can get ourselves the winner here. There's only one team that wants it in the moment. Lamar. He's found some space. Thomas Lamar, but Kepa's always going to save from that angle. Ceballos. Martinelli. Tierney on the overlap. Can he finish? Oh. Maybe the shot wasn't the right decision there. Kieran Tierney with a great run on the overlap. Corner. Only as far as Martinelli, who can hit it. But it's straight down the throat of Kepa. Aubameyang. He's found some space now. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Finally we have the breakthrough against Chelsea. Their tactics have been so negative all game. I don't think they've really tried to get forward at all. It's all been played in their half. And finally, Lamar and Ceballos linked up. Aubameyang got away from Rudiger. And even though it was on his weaker foot, you're always backing him to finish when he's one-on-one with the keeper. Arsenal lead 1-0. Oh my god! Tierney's lost it out to Batshuayi. Oh my god, what a recovery from Ake. Just clear it. Just clear it. And now a corner to defend. This is literally the last chance. Leno. Oh, good hands. Just boot it. We're done. It's game over. Arsenal win 1-0. A very deserved win, but we almost threw it away there right at the end. Kieran Tierney, what were you doing in your own penalty area, trying to dribble it out? But there's that man there, Aubameyang, on the score sheet. Look at that, one shot Chelsea had. One shot. They didn't try at all. Okay, so just quickly to show you how deeply Chelsea were playing in this game. You look at the player performance, it shows you the heat map of where they spent most of the game. So these are their three central midfielders. Kante on the edge of his area. Jorginho on the edge of the area. Kovacic on the edge of his area. All of it was in their own half. Even Pulisic in his own area. And Batshuayi, who's their striker, was in the middle of the park. There was only one team that wanted to win that game, and we finally got the job done. Okay, so another round of training here after that game. You see Martinelli's up to a 76. Guendouzi now up to an 80 overall. So next round of training, we will put Willock in for him. Only 3 days later, Christmas period, as you're probably familiar with, not much time for recovery. We now have a huge game against Manchester United. Okay, so just having a quick look here. Ceballos does have a little bit of fatigue. So I'm going to start Guendouzi from the start of this one, and then obviously Ceballos is a more attacking option. We can bring him on if we need him. So just looking at the United team that we are playing, obviously I know we're only on the 1st of January, so they won't have made any new signings. They've rotated a little bit though. Tuanzebe, I would say, is probably not quite as high rated as Lindelof. McTominay will not be as high rated as Fred. Lingard is definitely not as good as Fernandes, so a little bit weaker than the team we played last time out. But as you might already see, we've got to play in the snow, which if I noticed I would have changed it because I hate playing in the snow. Let's see if we can get ourselves a result. Here come United now with Pogba. Has a go from long range. Leno has to tip it over. Arsenal now countering from that corner, and Ozil is through. Can he finish it? He's cheesed it to Aubameyang. And Arsenal score. What a counter-attack that is. From the corner. I know that was a bit of a cheese goal, but you could definitely see Ozil doing that in real life. He always finds the assist rather than the goal. 2 against 1 against De Gea. And Aubameyang will not score an easier goal all season. He's already up to 17 goals in the Premier League. Phenomenal return. 1-0. Pepe. Aubameyang. Beautiful 1-2. Pepe's in behind here. What can he do? Cuts it across. Oh, De Gea cuts it out and almost turns it into his own net. And here we go. Tierney coming down that left wing. Can he find Pepe at the back post? He can! And that is absolutely beautiful. Once again, the counter-attack from Arsenal. Tierney picked it up in his own bottom left corner. Couple of 1-2s. Made it down that left-hand side and delivered the perfect cross for Pepe, who had the whole of that left side goal to aim at. Back across De Gea. His 14th of the season. Nicolas Pepe. 2-0 Arsenal. Pepe came back to help, and we go into the break with a convincing 2-0 lead. This definitely, without Fernandes in the side, is not the same United team that we played in the last video. Let's keep it going in the second half. Oh dear. Tierney's jumped in on Rafa here. Gone to ground. That is proper Scottish. Short sleeve shirt in the snow. He's picked up a yellow card though. Great switch of play to Bellerin. He's found Guendouzi. And he dinks it in. And Pepe's there. And it's beautiful football from Arsenal once again. Nicolas Pepe with a brace. Arsenal on cruise control here at the Emirates. Here is Bruno Fernandes, who's now come onto the pitch. Forces a shot, but it's straight at Leno. So we've got a few tired legs out there now. Aubameyang, Ozil, Saka, all very tired. So straight swaps for Lamar, Lacazette and Martinelli for the last 15 minutes. Lacazette. Can he put in Pepe here? Pepe. Cuts it back. Goes for goal. Oh, just wide. Not enough whip on it, but it doesn't matter. Pepe couldn't find a hat-trick, but Arsenal do still get the win. 3-0. Very convincing in the end. And a perfect New Year's resolution. Okay, so that probably seems like a pretty good time to actually leave the video there. We're now into January, and our first game in the next video will be the start of our FA Cup campaign away to Norwich, and then we can have a think about whether or not we're going to add any players to our squad. We're looking pretty good at the moment. We have actually just had an offer come in for Lacazette from Bayern Munich, but I don't really want to sell him just yet. He's still 28 years old, an important part of our squad, so I'm going to go ahead and reject that. So yeah, let's have a think. So yeah, so if you've got any suggestions about where we can add, then please do let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty happy with where we're sitting at the moment. We've got our young players that are growing. Aubameyang still leading the line up top, even though he's dropped to an 87. Ozil's still pretty serviceable there at 83. Maybe the only place we could look to strengthen is maybe a backup left back. We've got Kolasinac out long-term injury, and a Tierney there, who is our second weakest player in the team after Saka. But Saka obviously is continuing to grow. I think he's already up 4 overall from the start of the season. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like. We'll be back tomorrow with our next game against Norwich in the FA Cup, and also try and get through January and February. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you all next time.